Noon in Kiev. You're watching Our Time. Natalia Sopit is in the studio. I'll tell you the main news of the hour right now. On August 23rd, Ukrainians celebrate the Day of the National Flag of Ukraine. In the context of Russia's full-scale invasion, this holiday has taken on special significance. The colors of the Ukrainian flag have become a symbol of resilience, invincibility, and resistance to the aggression of the Russian occupiers. Today, President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky and foreign leaders took part in a solemn ceremony of raising the national flag in Kiev. The head of state thanked the international partners who gathered in Kiev today for their support of Ukraine. Foreign guests began arriving in Kiev early this morning. Leaders from 6 countries arrived in the capital: Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Finland, Denmark, and Norway. Lithuanian President Gitanas Nausėda wrote on the social network X that he would participate in a meeting of the Coalition of the Willing. Also, Estonian Prime Minister Kaja Kallas stated that she is glad to return to Kyiv together with the leaders of the Nordic Baltic 8.
Putin hopes that time is on his side. Our task is to prove him wrong. Ukraine must have everything necessary for self-defense and to determine its own future. Kaja Kallas, Prime Minister of Estonia, on the social network X.
And today, the blue and yellow colors of the Ukrainian flag can be seen far beyond the country's borders. This was reported by the EU delegation to Ukraine, which posted photos of the celebrations and noted that the Ukrainian colors in Rome, Dublin, and Brussels are a reminder that Ukraine is always where hope lives. And on the day of the national flag, Ukrzalincia raised flags over the train stations in Kyiv, Lviv, and Uzhhorod that were brought from the stations of cities that have become symbols of the fight for independence and where fighting continues today. For instance, at the Kyiv South Railway Station, flags from Pokrovsk are flying. At the station in Lviv, flags from Lyman, and in Uzhhorod, flags from Kostiantinivka. The number of people injured as a result of the Russian drone strike on a shopping and entertainment complex in Kryvyi Rih has risen to 140. 8 more people, including a child, have sought medical assistance. All of them have been prescribed outpatient treatment. As of this moment, 50 wounded people are in the city's hospitals, 13 of whom are children. 6 of the wounded are in very critical condition, including 2 children. I will remind you that last Friday, Russia carried out a targeted attack on a shopping center in Kryvyi Rih. According to the latest data, 16 people have died. Rescuers continue to clear the rubble and search for the missing. 2 people were killed and 2 more were wounded due to Russian shelling of the village of Sofivka in the Kramatorsk community of the Donetsk region. The Russian strike damaged 141 private homes, the State Emergency Service reported, noting that firefighting had to be stopped due to the threat of repeated shelling. Rescuers cleared about 2 tons of building debris and announced the completion of the work. A Russian Shahed drone hit the locomotive of the Zhytomyr-Odessa passenger train in the Odessa region. This was reported by the chairman of the board of Ukrzaliznytsia, Alexander Pertsovsky. Casualties were avoided because the monitoring team detected the threat in advance, after which the train was urgently stopped on the track section and the people were evacuated. There were 593 passengers in the carriages. Over 6 days, unmanned systems forces struck 27 energy hubs in occupied Crimea and in the south of the temporarily occupied territories of mainland Ukraine. This was reported by the commander of the Unmanned Systems Forces, Robert Brovdy, who published a video of several strikes. He also noted that during the operation codenamed Crimean Switch-Off, 267 of the Russian occupiers' energy hubs were disabled. And during the dairy operation, they managed to block the movement of the Russian Shadow Fleet's vessels in the Sea of Azov and the Kerch Strait. Over the past 24 hours, there have been 197 combat engagements on the front line. According to the General Staff, in the North Slobozhansky and Kursk directions, the armed forces of Ukraine repelled 10 attacks. In the South Slobozhansky direction, 17 assaults. In the Lyman direction, 7 attacks were repelled. In the Slovyansk direction, 5. In the Kramatorsk direction, 2. And in the Kostiantinivka direction, 22 assaults. The Pokrovsk direction remains the most tense, where 15 attacks were repelled, and the Huliai Pol direction, where 6 assaults were recorded. In the Kupiansk direction, Russian troops attempted to attack Ukrainian defense forces twice, in the Oleksandrivka direction 3 times, in the Orikhiv direction twice, and in the Pridniprovsky direction no offensive actions were conducted. The Russian military command is trying to create new hotspots on the front, particularly in the area of Malotomachka in the Zaporizhia region. But all attempts have been defeated by the Ukrainian defense forces. Mykola Malamuj, the former head of Ukraine's Foreign Intelligence Service, reported this on our broadcast.
There was more or less a lull in the sector. We conducted very effective operations. Many, so to speak, attacks that were being prepared as special operations by the enemy were not only preempted, but also defeated. We even advanced in several sectors by a few hundred meters. That was already, in a way, a counterstrike. And so, accordingly, there is an attempt to start new operations there again, but it is not succeeding. We are counterattacking and already have stable positions. I think that the enemy definitely won't have any prospects here.
The Ukrainian Defense Forces eliminated 1,310 Russian occupiers over the past day. Thus, according to the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, Russia has already lost 1,476,000 troops. Also, the day before, Ukrainian defenders destroyed 26 armored vehicles and 69 artillery systems. In addition, 1 air defense system, 8 ground-based robotic complexes, and 419 units of enemy automotive and special equipment were burned. Ukraine needs 300 missiles for Patriot air defense systems by winter. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke about this during a meeting with journalists. At the same time, according to him, about 600 such missiles are produced worldwide annually. Zelensky also stated that he had reached an agreement with Germany for 600 PAC-2 missiles over the next 2 years. According to him, these missiles also shoot down ballistic targets. They just need more of them.
The request from our Air Force is 360, but when 600 are produced per year, 360 is not easy. We are working with countries on additional capabilities, and I would very much like to believe that we will be able to find the key to some small percentage of U.S. stockpiles, say 5% or 10%, and we are ready to pay for this supply. That is, America would be able to replenish its stockpile, and we would be able to survive the winter. Such a political decision by America regarding missile supplies could change a great deal, both in terms of protecting lives and in diplomatic terms. Volodymyr Zelensky, president of Ukraine, while speaking with journalists.
The Patriot is a unique missile defense system that cannot be replaced by other weaponry, which is why European partners are looking for options for additional aid to Ukraine. This was discussed on our TV channel by the Deputy Director of the National Institute for Strategic Studies, Vyacheslav Popopenko.
If in 2022, European partners viewed aid to Ukraine as, well, some kind of humanitarian gesture, just as help, now they are seriously considering the threat from the Russian Federation, and, accordingly, they now need missile defense. That is, in 2022, they didn't seriously believe that Russia could attack them, or that they wouldn't be able to fight back, or that they might have any problems, or that some ballistic missiles might fly into their factories or infrastructure facilities. But now they, the Europeans, seriously believe that this is possible. Even if it's not very likely, it is possible. That is why they want to keep these missiles for themselves, certainly, for their own defense, first and foremost. That is the main problem.
I will remind you that just the other day, the presidents of Ukraine and France discussed the supply of missiles for Ukraine's air defense. The phone conversation between Volodymyr Zelensky and Emmanuel Macron lasted about 2 hours. Macron expressed his condolences regarding the Russian strike on a shopping center in Kryvyi Rih and announced an increase in support for Ukraine. The French president agreed to help with communication with partners who have Patriots. The leaders also agreed to accelerate the delivery of the latest French missiles. Stay at the center of events wherever you are. Live broadcasts, exclusive projects, and breaking reports from all over the planet are now on your smartphone. The whole world in one Freedom app. Scan the QR code, download it right now, and get access to important content.
Subscribe to UATV English and stay updated on the most important events, top news from Ukraine and all over the world, in-depth analysis, exclusive reports and interviews, all on hand in our channel. Join our community of viewers and stay tuned.